Okay, so you wanted to know about my childhood? And I don't really know what to say about it, because I mean there's a lot of aspects of it, you know? Like there's family, and there's who I was as a child, and there's school and all that stuff. So I think I'll just do all of those. So this is probably going to be exceptionally kind of long. I'm sorry I look like poop. I felt sick all weekend, and I still feel kind of sick. It's like I got rid of the sniffles, yes, but my throat kind of hurts, and I'm tired, so sorry. I look homeless. I just haven't moved for the past 4 days. Like, I just leveled up on World of Warcraft, and that's it. That's literally it. For like 8 hours, and then I'd go to bed again. Okay, so, as, like, a person when I was little, it's like, I was too nice, and I still am, I guess, in some aspects, but like, I'd expect the best from everyone, which is why a lot of people were mean to me in my school, but I'll get to that. But it's like, I was just too nice, and I remember one Christmas, I actually gave away all the toys I got to like a charity because it felt like the right thing to do. And it's just because, like, my family doesn't have that much money. Even when I was little, we didn't have that much money. And I knew how much it sucked to, like, not get things when you wanted them. So, it's like, how I saw it was that I already had a lot of stuffed animals, because I did, I had so many, that I didn't really need these new toys. And, because I never made a Christmas list. Like, I'd tell Santa thank you for the few things that he would bring me. But in the long run, I tell him that he doesn't really need to get me anything. Like, you know, it's not a big deal to me, because it never really was. So, I was just too nice. But I was also a really sick kid, like, because I was born prematurely, and within that, I ended up developing a lot of joint problems, and I had heart problems for a while, and I can't eat properly, and I still can't. Like, most of the things got fixed, but the eating thing is still an issue. Like, whenever I try to eat, if I eat more than a very small portion, I'll feel really, really sick, and like, sometimes I take medicine for it, but it only helps sometimes and with certain foods. So, I don't get to eat too much, but I do, because I like food, even if I can't eat it, or eat it properly. But for the most part, so I spent a lot of time out of school because I had a lot of doctor's appointments, and I would get sick really often. Like, I'd always catch colds, or like really high fevers, and it was annoying. But I guess part of that helped me, because in school, the kids were really mean to me, and I think it's because I was basically the white girl of the school. Like, okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm Cuban. And when I was little, I was super, super, super tan, and I had, like, long, long, long hair, and people would call me Pocahontas. Except chubby. But I was considered the whitey of my school. And, you know, I liked my school, kind of, because my teachers were really great. Like, they were all super nice, and I was always the favorite, which got me teased even more, but I didn't really care. But I wasn't the favorite just because, it's because I enjoyed reading, and I read my first book when I was 3 years old, and when I was 4 years old, I read The Hobbit by myself. Like, you know, it was the one thing that I was really good at, and I'm still good at, and I've always loved reading, so I'd always ace reading, and my teachers would love me for that, and I was just generally respectful, because all the kids in my school would, like, draw penises, and they were, like, in 2nd grade, and I would just kind of doodle happy faces on my own paper, and because I didn't see the point of being a bad kid for no reason, because I was like, why cause stress? Well, I probably didn't think of it that way, because I was little, but I don't know, I just didn't see a point in being mean to a teacher, or an adult, for that matter, so I wasn't. But because of that, I didn't have that many friends, and I don't really regret not having that many friends. Like, that made things a little better and easier for me, because I saw then that I didn't need people's company. Like, you know, it wasn't a thing that I needed. it was nice whenever it was around, which it wasn't when I was little, except for like family parties or whatever. But it was something I could do without. Like, I had imaginary friends, and most of them were like dragons. And one of them's name was Linda. She was my favorite. I remember it because I had this book, the Dragonology books that you may or may not have seen at Barnes & Noble's a few years ago. My mom ended up getting me one, and it was my favorite. I read the entire thing, and I knew about all the dragon types and how to raise them and what to feed them if they got sick. Like, so I would always write in this journal about my adventures with Linda, and that was basically my life in school. Like, I'd sit alone and write and read, and I was pretty okay with it, and I was sick for the other half of my school life when I was little. And my family life was just whatever. Like, I don't know. It's like my mom, my dad, and my grandma all lived together, and I lived with them. My grandma lived with us because of my health problems. And then we have my dad and my mom, who I didn't get to see often because they had work, but I didn't really mind because when I did see them, they were pretty great. Like, my dad has kind of a temper, but it's whatever, and my mom's just pretty chill. But the thing is, it's like, we've never been one of those, like, I love you so much kind of families. We're just kind of bros. We're all just somewhere along the line of bros. We just kind of keep to ourselves and do our own thing. Keep it that way, because it's the easiest way. And then when we are together, we laugh and we make jokes. And we keep it chill as possible, because I guess we're all just kind of introverts. But for the most part, my favorite parts of my family were my grandpa and my uncle. My uncle, I spent a lot of time with when I was little as well. I spent most of my time at his house, and he's the one that got me into fantasy and video games and comics and all that stuff, because, like, he had figurines, just a set of figurines of different comic book characters, and I'd always ask him about them, and then he'd lend me comic books, so that's how I got into that. And then he was showing me all these female characters, like Harley Quinn, and he's like, she's a bad girl, but, you know, she's pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, which is why she's, like, one of my favorites today. And he got me into, like, music that I like now, like rock and indie, because his son was in a metal band. His name's Danny, but I never really saw him that much. He has long hair up to his butt, and he was, like, my favorite person. And, you know, it was whatever. It was cool. And he's just the nicest guy. Like, Eli's definitely my favorite, and he actually shaped a lot of who I became today. Same thing with my grandfather. He always tell me, like, legends of Celtic things, and they were always the coolest damn thing, like, ever. I thought they were the best. And I still love him very much. He's my favorite person, and I don't get to see him that often, which is really disappointing. I see him, like, maybe twice a year. But he's my favorite person, and I guess that's all to say about my childhood. It was a whatever kind of thing. It was a sickly existence, but, you know, it's like a lot of fun things happened. Yeah, which is why I have so many stories from then. Okay, I'm sorry, this video is like almost 9 minutes. Oh my god, I just wasted all your time. I'm gonna go. Bye.